Iran just agreed to a deal. J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, just told the world this could fundamentally transform the Middle East. Now, I need you to stop for a second and think about what that actually means. Not the spin, not the headline, not what Fox is telling you, not what CNN is telling you. What does it actually mean when the most dangerous regime on the planet, a regime that has funded terrorism for decades, pointed missiles at our allies, threatened the Strait of Hormuz, captured American sailors, and chanted death to America in their parliament? They suddenly show up at the negotiating table. Does that mean they changed? Or does that mean the pressure finally worked? Because those two are very different situations. And which one this is determines everything about whether this deal holds or whether we are about to watch history repeat itself. I spent 20 years in the United States Navy. I have operated in that region. I understand what the Strait of Hormuz means in a way that a cable news anchor reading off of a teleprompter never will. And I'm going to tell you right now, before we get into anything else, Iran does not make deals because they want peace. Iran makes deals when they have no other choice. So the question you should be asking right now is not, is this a good deal? The question is, what made Iran blink? And more importantly, is it enough to make sure they never unblink? This is what we're going to answer today. Stay with me. This is just coming out right now from the Vice President.
Joining us now by phone is Vice President J.D. Vance. Mr. Vice President, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, of course. Good to be with you.
This seems like you guys have gotten this to the finish line. It seems like there's an actual peace deal, at least at the moment, that's agreed upon and ready for signing. I'd love for you to tell us your thoughts on it.
Well, first of all, I do think it's a big moment for the United States of America, thanks, of course, to the president's leadership and the hard work of the entire team. Three things that I think are important for the American people just to appreciate about what this deal does for all of us as a
I love how they show the drone strikes and the missile strikes on these tankers at the same time as the president's talking about peace and how we got there.
Americans. Number one, this is the immediate opening of the Straits of Hormuz and, of course, the lifting of the naval blockade that we've had on Iran along with it. The number two thing that it means is that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, and not just pursue a nuclear weapon, but procure or try to buy a nuclear weapon as well. That's built into this agreement.
So those are two massive accomplishments. Iran not trying to get a nuclear weapon, opening the Strait of Hormuz. Massive.
Look, what the vice president said is what we have been hearing from President Trump and the administration since day one of Operation Epic Fury. The reason that the region is here is to ensure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon or a path to a program that would eventually allow them to create one or purchase one on the black market, for example. And this deal, according to the vice president, he says does that. And so the two key objectives that the Trump administration wanted to reach.
They have. We got the two objectives. Straight open, no more tolls for the ships, no nuclear weapons. That, to me, is monumental. Now, there's a lot of people that are going to be upset about this. There's a lot of people that will never be happy. We've got some articles coming in here. Trump confirms the peace deal with Iran is complete. It's going to be signed in Switzerland. President of the United States is flying to France for the G7 summit tonight. He could very well go to Switzerland to sign this deal. It looks like that's what he wants to do. That's exactly what I think is the most presidential. Could you imagine Joe Biden trying to do this? Probably not. And now we have the Iranian foreign minister also confirming, following intensive talks, we are pleased to announce that the peace deal between the United States of America, Islamic Republic, has been reached. Both sides have declared the immediate permanent termination of military operations on all fronts, including Lebanon. Now, this is the sticking point that I think could be huge. This could be a massive obstacle because of Israel. Goes on to say the official signing ceremony would be Friday, the 19th of June in Switzerland. I say get the Nobel Peace Prize ready. Now, Vice President Vance says the Iran deal will transform the Middle East, ensure Tehran will never have a nuclear weapon. This is huge, especially if you have children, family, grandkids, that you want a long heritage to last. This is big. Now, there are other people that have said here on my channel in the comments, give Iran a nuclear weapon and it'll make everything safe for everyone. I don't believe that's the case. Now, there's a lot of world leaders that are coming out and saying the president has done the right thing. One of them is Sir Keir Starmer. This is the same guy that allowed used his Marine commandos to raid a Russian ship in the wee hours of the morning. Go check out that previous video. You've got to see it. It looks staged. It's like a clip from a Call of Duty trailer. So Keir Starmer, the same guy that wouldn't provide help to the United States, is now praising the president. So I don't think this means anything. No one is jumping for joy because Keir Starmer acknowledged the deal. It's just not happening. The one thing that's going to happen really quickly, Brent crude has now fallen. The oil markets are correcting as we speak. Brent crude falls to the lowest price since March the 5th. So you're going to see some relief at the pump. This is going to upset a lot of people. It's going to upset a lot of people that have made money off this. Look, below $84 a barrel, the lowest price since March 5th, $81 a barrel. There's a lot of people losing money right now. And I believe England, London, the markets there are probably not happy. But you know what? They can figure it out. Now, the other thing, the President of the United States, I was talking about Lebanon. Trump rips Netanyahu after Israel strikes Beirut, says, what the F are you doing? This is monumental that the president will call out the same prime minister of Israel that everyone says he's working for. Trey Yink spoke with President Trump. He says the deal with Iran is expected to be signed the next 2 or 3 hours. Trump has asked Israeli Prime Minister, what the F are you doing on a call with the Israeli strikes against Beirut? He told Netanyahu not to conduct additional strikes. The president told me he will ask Iran not to respond with missile fire towards Israel. This could be the problem with the entire deal. Now, I understand Israel wants their pound of flesh for what happened October 7th, 2023. This is huge. But at the same time, Israel needs to stay out of the way. And to quote Trump, what the F are you doing? Now, there's more intelligence coming out. Loads of outlets, open source intel, War Monitor, all the open source channels are saying that the deal is done. Last but not least, the people that are not happy about the deal. Hakeem Jeffries, Timu Obama, not happy. Saying now Trump impeachment back on the table. Because what Trump has done is make the Republican Party, more importantly, make J.D. Vance, make Marco Rubio, make the White House look successful. And the sad face that you're witnessing here is going to be plastered across the Democrat Party because they needed Trump to fail. They needed the White House to fail. And he was on Meet the Depressed with Kristen Welker today, angry that a peace deal had worked because it makes the Democrats look useless. I would love for somebody in the comments, leave a comment down below. Do you think Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Hakeem Jeffries, any of these other Democrat candidates, Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom, any of them, do you think they could have got a peace deal done? Well, number one, Iran doesn't put women on the same playing field, right? They don't acknowledge people of the LGBT password community. That's not part of their environment. They're not going to negotiate with them. So you leave that comment down below. Let me know what you think. I read all of the comments, all of them. Are you happy that a deal is done? How quickly will the gas markets recover here in the United States? Do you think Israel and Iran can stay out of each other's way? Do you think that Iran holds to the deal? Is there something bigger brewing for us to get this uranium out of Iran? The president's saying it's dust. We're monitoring its Space Force. If need be, we'll go back in and cover it up, B-2 style. That could happen. That being said, thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next one. Ben Dykes Show, out.